Why do investment bankers make so much money? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jerome back at it with another video. In 2021, a lot of investment banks increased the base salary for a lot of junior bankers, the most notable one being Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs increased the salaries of their first and second year analysts by almost 30% each, and other banks across the street have increased first year associate salaries all the way up to $175,000 per year. So including their year-end bonus, these 20-something-year-olds could be making anywhere between $200,000 and $300,000 a year. And if you want to make between $200,000 and $300,000 per year, make sure to smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. I promise it'll work. But that begs the question, why do investment bankers make so much money, and what justifies it? To answer that question, let's take a second to back up a little bit. Investment banks are kind of like the gatekeepers of the capital markets. And what I mean by that is, if a company wants to issue stock or issue debt or even buy another company, they almost always have to go through an investment bank. And by controlling this metaphorical gate, investment banks can charge a really high fee for their services. And obviously that comes with massive amounts of profit for those banks. Imagine a 1% fee on a $1 billion deal. And honestly, that's not even a crazy sized deal, but that equates to $10 million for the bank. Now imagine an elite boutique bank like Evercore that only has 1,800 employees. They've closed over 175 deals this year, valued at a total of over $350 billion. Now, 1% of that is $3.5 billion. Split that amongst 1,800 people, and that comes out to almost $2 million per employee. And that's just this year. Now, okay, obviously that is oversimplified because I didn't account for any expenses they might incur, but forget about that for now. So the banks make a lot of money. We get it. But what justifies the individual person making that much money? Part of the way that they justify that salary is honestly just prestige. Most clients that investment banks work with are pretty much going to be VPs or higher, typically even all the way up to CEO, at mid to large companies. And so those clients want the best of the best to be working for them. That usually means hiring a ton of Ivy League educated, super smart people to work for you, aka nerds. Aside from that, the main reason is the brutal work hours and the lack of work-life balance. As a client-facing role, you're essentially on the clock 24/7. Your client should be able to reach you at any time of the day, no questions asked, and you should be able to be there and have a response for everything and anything they might need. This typically means pretty brutal 12 to 16-hour workdays where the only time you have left over is to go home at the end of the day and go to sleep. Well, what about weekends? They don't exist because you'll be working those too. Over the summer, I averaged about 80 hours per week, and honestly, I think that's pretty standard for this industry. And so with such poor work-life balance, there's gotta be some sort of incentive to convince people to come work for you. Look, I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm just trying to give you a transparent, behind-the-curtain look of how an investment bank operates and why they pay their employees so much money. I'll tell you guys a story real quick. When I graduated from undergrad, the standard average industry going rate for an electrical engineer in my area was $67,000 a year. I ended up accepting a job with a company called Eastman Chemical Company because they were offering $77,000 a year. And at that time in my life, that $10,000 increase just seemed like a lot. It wasn't until after I actually moved that I realized, oh, they're paying us $10,000 more as an incentive to live here because there's nothing to do here. The town that Eastman Chemical Company sits in, it's basically the only thing in that town. Very few bars, very few restaurants, virtually no type of activity that you can do other than go hiking. And almost everyone that lives in that city works at Eastman Chemical Company. But that's why they were paying you that premium above market rate, was an incentive to convince you to move there. And that is exactly what these banks are trying to do. They're essentially paying you double what a normal person's salary would be because they expect double the working hours. That's essentially the trade-off that they expect. So yes, investment bankers can make a ton of money, but only if they don't burn out in those first couple years. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button down below, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. As always, I'm Jerome with All Things Tech and Finance, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!